process. I'm wondering if I process pain by becoming tired. Because I don't feel like searing nerve receptions from somewhere in my body going up my spinal cord and going to my brain, going, ah! I mean, I do get a couple of moments, you know, when it's stiff and that heel hurts, but I'm not really experiencing pain so much in my mind so much as I'm tired. So I slept in and I've had 2 naps today and it's 3:15. And these were pretty solid naps, like several hours. So Christine wants to know if I'm available for work. And I'm saying take me off the schedule till New Year's. My foot's swollen, and I want to sleep a lot with it propped up. I don't think this was in one of the emails. I think it was in one of the videos yesterday. But I thought about it after, going, oh, I see relevance. It was after the idea I expressed of, you know, for Kickstarter, I've done Mate, and Mate is a new style of writing, and then I was thinking of doing Pate, and that would be the next revision, and actually thinking that's going to be P parentheses M ATE or P parentheses M AYET. So it's Pate and Mate and PM, which understandably is probably what goes on in the Coupled and Pledged Doft Kingdom. Okay, hyphenated. You know, and it's probably what happens with any relationship. You get your Pate in the PM, in the night, in the evening with your mate. Okay, if you want to sustain that relationship, you grow a head. And by extension, please your lady with what you can shed head. So I posed that in a video, thinking that, you know, I was going to take it to Kickstarter as an idea, rather than ask people to believe in me. Produce the product. So produce the next revision, Pate. I've already done Mate, so this would Pate and Mate would be the next revision, and then I think I stopped the video, and then I think I tuned into you, and that you didn't think it was a good idea. More than that, it seemed more pointed, kind of like I was losing my point. And, you know, basically, you know, just because, did I get any of that in the video? That, then I went on an emotional, somewhat of an episode. You know, I'm tired of carrying the boat. I'm tired of doing the work, and I'm tired of the work that I do. I always feel it's not enough. Okay? So I am endeavoring and soliciting to position myself in the marketplace to do my own thing, and I'm not asking anyone to believe in me. I'm presenting the goods already well done, conceivable even vent tooth the HC, honor conscious, calm. Sustainable and sustain, TC is art, BLEAD. I'm fighting through sleep. Sorry. I'm really just like, like, oh no. Stay here. Stay with your thought. Follow through. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I got that on a video. If I didn't, I was trying to recapture the somewhat raw emotion and episode. Of course, I'm not doing raw right now. I'm doing raw with sedated. I'm not taking pills or medication. I'm just tired and woke up from my second nap today. With my big peg leg. Propping it up doesn't make it any less swollen. Sure doesn't seem to. Anyway, did I get that or not? And was there anything else? I'm probably going to put the Rich Road website up before the end of the year because I'm already using almost, I'm into the maximum gigabyte payload at Consumer Cellular for my hotspot. So I may as well finish that up. I'm paying for it whether I use all that transfer or not. So I don't think it's going to be completed. I don't think the website's going to be completed, but I may as well get it shipshape as much as I can in the next day or two and upload it and then get ready to be charged again for using my hotspot. Hopefully the next month, and it'll be completed. But it was my dentist, Emma Wu. She sent me an email, a picture, Merry Christmas from the staff, and I thought that was nice. And I was just commenting that I really like my dentist, Emma Wu. She's up on the latest technologies. She has everything under one housing, one setting, one sitting, in one place. When I broke my tooth under the gum line, she could give me a gingivectomy, put a post in, put a cap on, and then come back for the crown. I was in and out of her office in an hour on the dot, and I had to see several dentists before her, and they were basically, well, you need to go see this you have to go see this surgery dentist doctor to put the post in. They were sending me in bits and pieces to other people without any real reference, and I'm kind of like, wow, you know, you're a dentist. I'm presuming you're the expert, yet I'm feeling like I have to do all your footwork for you, and I'm still technically working and have to be at work. So during working hours, I'm at work, and then after working hours, I have to do the footwork, and then I can't call these dentists you want me to get in touch with to do this part, to do this part, to do this part, to put a crown on. So it was distressing. Pros and cons, the tooth that broke had a root canal, so I didn't have a nerve to feel pain, but it's still unnerving because the tooth is wiggling in your head. All right? And you know, the more time that passed, you're aware I have a hole in my head, and that hole can get infected, so let's figure it out. Anyway, Emma Wu in Massachusetts can put everything together under one roof. And she has the tools, the technology, the inclination, but she's also very, I want to say, purposeful, driven, and efficacious. She manages everything just right there. And I could tell the way that she gets in my mouth and maneuvers. She's there to do a job, okay? It's not like doing a job carelessly with a sledgehammer. Well, I'll fix your tooth. No, it's the refinement of having tools, knowing how to use them, and eyes, hands, vision in terms of really understanding tension. The tension that's necessary to get the job done. Am I going to be happier? She's like, oh, well, let me take a peek. Or it's like, here, I'm like, get right in there, let's fix it. Okay. I try and accommodate her. You can stretch my mouth open, okay? I'll keep it open for you. But she does a great job, and I'm always impressed with her efficacy. There's no flaunting of any action that is unnecessary. You can say she's impeccable. And when I'm doing serious dental work, like crowns, that's the person I want working on my teeth, on my mouth. I save the cleaning for the kids at the dental school that are training to be dentists here. It takes longer. Generally, I find it's plan to spend more time. It's convivial. It can be. You could talk to them, and in talking and having a conversation, you learn some little ins and outs. What they see, patterns, personal experience, you know, their own life. I find that to be very useful also. Next time I go back, they should be happy because I've been prompted to get an electric toothbrush, and I finally bought one this Christmas. It's still on the way, so we'll see. I'm a bit of a Luddite. It's like, well, if my toothbrush needs electricity to run, that means I can't run it without electricity. Therefore, I want the toothbrush without electricity so I could just use it any ding dong time. Okay? That's how I think, generally. It'll be nice, I think, to try. The feedback I hear from every dentist is it does a better job. So we'll see. And I found it very well priced. and this time of year on Amazon. Of course, they throw in a coupon. Yes, I bought my tooth up brush on a coupon. And I picked the most, well, what they perceived as the most homely color, or the color they had too much of, which is coral. So it's white and coral. You get a big savings on coral. So, I think it's Philips Sonic toothbrush, coral, on Amazon. I think it was, with the coupon, was 20 or 24. I think it was 20. Then your refill brush heads, 3 of them, is 24, but you also get a $5 coupon off of that. We'll try it. I've done, I think, remarkably well for a person using a regular toothbrush in an age of technology. That said, you know, when I go to get my teeth clean, I used to have almost perfect fitting teeth to the gum socket. There's some loose spots, you know, when they stick that tool down next to your tooth in the gum line and see how far your gum is pulling away from your teeth. So I'm getting feedback, you know, that things are not as tight as they used to be. Certainly they're not like egregiously bad, but since I'm getting feedback that they're not as tight, and I keep being prompted to buy electric toothbrush, I thought I'd try, and then start paying attention to see if I can't reverse the trend, or even just maintain good enough gum teeth health. You know, I want to see if the electric toothbrush helps. What else? There was something else. I'm not in pain, so I don't know if taking Tylenol would be helpful. You know, I don't feel like I'm in pain. I'm tired a lot, so will Tylenol help me not to be tired? Alright, so I have to let you know, I totally want to buy this very silly thing. It's called, the brand is Now, and it's a faux wood. Let me see if I can find it here. Alright, it's called a Now, where is it? There it is. Now, ultrasonic faux wood grain diffuser. I want to get a diffuser. This one, it kind of looks like a little tulip bud. So it looks like a kind of a casing. I'll show you with the cam. The white portion changes colors. And so it's a diffuser, but I think it's also, maybe it might be a bit of a cool steam humidifier, so it puts a little moisture in the air. Probably wouldn't run that in the summer because that's going to curl my hair on its own. But it doesn't bother me that it's faux. You know, usually I'm kind of deeply offended by things that are tacky. That plastic faux finish, wood grain finish, doesn't bother me. Part of the appeal, I think, is that it changes colors. And so I asked myself, well, would you put it in the bathroom? Because it'd be nice to have a little scent, that just kind of emanates around the day. And of course, that leads me to another question, which scent? And I've already got it figured out what I want. But the groovy little color's changing. I'm like, I would put it right out here. Put it right here in Trapezzo. It'd be kind of like, I don't know, loungy. Like the lounge era. The heliochrysum, helichrysum oil. I want to get helichrysum oil. The thing is, I've only read about helichrysum oil, but I've not actually, to my knowledge, I could read about what it smells like, but in my recollection, I mean, Whole Foods has them. But I don't know. I'd be drawing on my memory of, hey, I stood there a couple of times like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? I like cypress. I bought cypress. It says it smells like a strongly straw-like fruity smell with honey and tea undertone, and the color can range from pale yellow to red. Now, part of the problem it's, I was reading about, it seems like a pretty awesome essential oil. And you could put it in your diffuser, you could put it on yourself. Let's see what they have to say at .terra. What I'm finding is it's very expensive. So I want to get the Now diffuser, and of course, then that asks me, well, what kind of oil do you want? Well, I want this heliochrysum, italicum. That's what it says. But it's expensive, so that kind of makes me not think of buying this right now. It's known as the immortal or everlasting flower. Helichrysum, HELICHRYSUM, holds many benefits for the skin. It's used in many anti-aging products, targets aging spots. Let's see, it targets fine lines and wrinkles, help to promote healthy skin cell regeneration and glowing, youthful complexion, UTH, full. So whether you apply the oil directly to your face or add it to your facial cleanser, you can help give you the glow you need. We're talking about taking it internally for a healthy metabolism. Let's see, blending it with frankincense, lavender, manuka, which is tea tree, oil, and myrrh. It's known to have calming and soothing properties. Some are mixing it with coconut oil. good for blemishes. I somehow got the idea in my head, and I think I read it, that would be nice in a diffuser. And I'm like, well, what is it? Heliochrysum gets its name from the Greek word helios, which means sun, and chrysos, which means gold. This description refers to the beautiful golden color of the flowers. It's a perennial herb, produces a golden flower blossoms. It's been used in herbal health practices since ancient times in Greece. The golden flower of this small shrub are used to produce the essential oil through steam distillation. And because of the significant benefits of heliochrysum for skin, it is often referred to as the everlasting or immortal flower. Chemistry. Its main chemical components: neryl acetate, alpha pinene, and Y-circummene. Y-circummene. It's Y Y hyphen CURCUMENE. It's considered a renewing essential oil. It shares chemical properties with the arbor vitae, frankincense, eucalyptus, and wintergreen. I don't know what arbor vitae is, but arbor is tree. It's comprised of a chemical group called esters, which are generally known to be calming and relaxing and having a balancing effect on mood. Neryl acetate, the ester that is the primary chemical constituent of heliochrysum essential oil, is used in perfumery to impart floral and fruity aromas. Let's see. So this is not saying at doTERRA, it's not saying directly, you know, oh, this would be great to put it in your diffuser, because what I'm seeing, I did a brief little lookup, and that's why I, didn't buy the diffuser, because I can't really bridge the gap between, I want the heliochrysum, I think, but the pure heliochrysum is like over $100 a bottle, and I think it's like an ounce. Okay. And I'm like, you do it to yourself, Angela. But if it's mixed with jojoba oil, it's about, for a small little bottle, I think it's $11 to $15. So how much is it mixed with jojoba? Probably a lot. And so then I asked myself, is that going to be suitable to put in a diffuser? An essential oil that's basically diluted, So that's where my quest has stopped. It's stopped in terms of I have a tab on my browser, and thinking about it. But I find myself quite attracted to the groovy faux wood grain now, color changing, kind of like, it looks like a little, like that, the way that the case, the faux wood grain case, holds the white portion in there. It changes colors. It just, I don't know, it's groovy, and I wouldn't mind a little groovy in my pad. Wouldn't mind a little groovy. The fact that it's plastic doesn't even, it doesn't appall me. What I mean is, you know, I can say I have a greater appreciation for fine furniture because I made this, you know what I mean? And it's the process of making that and being with it every step of the way. And from a design to fitting it, you know, cutting the parts, fitting it, thinking, oh boy, that was a lot of work, and realizing you've got an equal amount on the other side of that, finishing it, sanding with the grain, putting your linseed oil in there to keep the wood supple, you know, many just layers of sanding, different grits, layers of finishing, and it seems to go on forever. Okay, so consequently, I'm very aware, you know, when I put things on that table, is it going to scratch it? I try not to be too... Minnow definitely helps me in terms of relax a bit. It's furniture. I'm not saying I'm overly precious and protective of it. I think I am just enough. I know the value. I know the value of creating it. I try and be careful when I'm vacuuming around it. You know, sometimes Minnow plays, you know, and he gets in there because his ball gets in between the legs. And, you know, I try, having a cast also brought me in. I have marred this just a little bit from swinging my leg over. That cast works. That gauze with the carbon fiber, works just like sand, like a grate or a sandpaper. So we can say I've broken this in a little bit. Nothing major, no big flaws, but certainly it's been lived in. And I would say Minnow at the very least helps me, you know, this is my little kingdom, and I value a nest, a place to land, to rejuvenate, and so we try and keep it nice, yet for me, livable. It's not a place where, oh, don't touch that, don't sit down, don't touch that, which brings me to, you know, I was thinking of doing a silk cover with the embroidered snake eating itself in the figure 8 to put the down comforter in, and I'm really itching to do that because little feathers are coming out of that sheet. So Minnow, he chewed the last one, and he's older now and does not chew as much. When he does chew, I think he's bored, so he wrestles the down comforter, but it had so many holes in it that I just did some Yankee ingenuity stitching, and then pull feathers out of Minnow's maw, and, you know, was doing that, you know, almost daily for a while. The comforter looked really, it looked tacky, unsavory, and yet it was a hotel. It was a hotel, just heavyweight down comforter. I got it at Macy's, and I'm like, the feathers are good. It's just the casing. And casing, that makes me think of something. Anyway, so I bought 2 sheets. And I took the feathers out, and it was a mess. Even though I tried for it not to be a mess, it still makes a mess. But I feel that I was successful in transferring the feathers to a casing that didn't have holes. Well, they're getting out still, just a little bit, you know, still small, still kind of makes the apartment fluffy. And when I put the feathers in a new casing, I also split it. So because it was such a heavyweight down fill, so I put 1/3 over there, for minnow in an industrial satin casing, and then I put the 2/3 in a sheet to make it more of a bed top, so that the comfort didn't go over the bed. And I was thinking I wanted to do silk, but I'm thinking, you know what, I think I want to, as soon as I can, get it inside of industrial satin, because it's more livable with the way Minnow and I entertain ourselves and live here. You know, Minnow likes to jump on the bed. And there's really no use for me to display a lovely a silk embroidered piece. I was thinking of using charmeuse silk, so it's very smooth. I think it's much more suitable for clothing, or, you know, I could do some sort of a drapery off the baldacchino, the canopy. I could if I wanted to, and certainly I ordered several colors and they're just waiting there. That's all silk, charmeuse silk. Probably going to make me silk pillowcases. I will make me silk pillowcases for sure, but I think I want to do, I think I'm going to get industrial satin. I'm not going to get the industrial satin until I get the honeycomb backing done. So these guys, that's going to be the at the headboard, a honeycomb, and hexagons made in shantung silk. Shantung looks the same. There's no right or wrong side. It looks the same. It has natural slubbing, meaning some thicker threads working its way out of the worm's ass. So I want to get that done first, so that then I could be, okay, what color? You know, how does this work? So, having an itching episode. Casing. That makes me think of something. Comb. I see this a lot. Okay, when I work at the lice clinic, people come in and generally they try and home treat and they're not successful. So when I first meet someone, I ask them, you know, who's got the best storyline? Because I know there's a story, and usually, you know, an adult will point at one of the kids, and then I get the synopsis. Okay, tell me your story. Tell me your journey. What have you done so far? Because I suspect you've done something so far, and the other thing I want to know is, when did you discover, you know, when did you discover you had lice? And what did you do? Okay. And usually I'll get some sort of over the counter spiel. And I'm like, okay, so use the chemical. Sometimes it'll be like, well, she had lice several months ago. We used Nix. We thought we got rid of it, but it's back. And, you know, I'll find out what they use. And I'm like, well, you know, Maine's a superbug state. The chemical has fortified the bug against the chemical. And one of the conversations this year, as a side note, the chemical used to get rid of the evidence, the bugs at the very least, but it's not going to kill the eggs, even though the marketing says it's going to. It's not going to kill the eggs in a superbug state. So I'm having divergent thoughts, and so I'm trying to hold on to both of them. And until I can kind of get them both solid in my head, so they're like, okay, speak on this one, then come back and speak on this one. The other thing is when I do a comb out, I use a wet napkin. So I usually have a little apron. If the napkin won't stay in my pocket, I use some little clips. Get a wet napkin, clip it in my pocket so it's convenient. I'm hands-free. Get the big, I explain to people, you know, it's not rocket science, but you don't want to take shortcuts. That's the only thing that being in the lice business for 3 years has taught me, is not to take shortcuts. Okay? It's not rocket science, but don't take shortcuts. That's it. That's your rule. Okay? So I find that this dialogue works with young and old. I'd say this is, you know, the process. I'm going to use the big comb, so it's got, you know, spaces in them. I'm going to use the big comb first, so we remain friends. So I'll have someone sitting. I have a seat that I can adjust like a dentist or a hair salon, make them go higher or lower, and so it's comfortable for me. And I get the big comb through their hair, and then I bring out the lice comb, and we use the Terminator, and it's the tines are very tight, and then they've got these little I want to say coiled, engraved little ridges or indentations. It's a good comb. You get combs for free in over-the-counter packages, and it should be a crime because this is what it's doing. People can read. They say to do a comb out. They do a comb out. They think they did the job. But they weren't given a good comb, okay? If a company is going to make an over-the-counter package to get rid of lice, they should put a good comb in it or none at all, okay? Because you're setting people up with a false expectation. One, you're giving them the tools for follow-through, and two, they can do it through you, your product. And so I do a comb out. You get the big comb through first, so we remain friends. And then I take the lice comb through the hair. I graze the scalp, and I like to pull all the way down the hair shaft, and then wipe on the wet napkin. The wet napkin is key because contents will stick, and I can investigate. What am I looking for, and what's the ideal way to investigate? The ideal way to investigate is to have a light and lens, because lice eggs are glossy, and so I'm looking for eggs, and I'm looking for either white or brown. White is a shell, but the glue is good. The glue is sufficient. The lice lays the eggs at the scalp of your head, and after the egg hatches, it turns into a shell, but that shell still attaches, and it grows out. I've seen the shell attached 18 inches down on a person's hair when I was at camp doing a head check, and I was like, huh. Did you have lice? And she's had to think. She's like, yeah, 2 summers ago. And I'm like, okay. Well, I did a comb out on her just to make sure, but she didn't have anything active, you know. She was from France, I believe. There's a lot of international camps here, and one of the things we learn in the justification of stereotypes, not all countries manage lice the same. Some countries manage lice by living with it, so they actually bring it to camp, and that's why our summers are so busy here. There's lots of land, lots of vacation land, Finger Lakes, and camps and tourists. They want to leave their bugs here. They don't want to take them home. When I'm doing head checks, parents, I would say about 50%, are surprised about the value of a good comb, in the sense they realize for all the work they were doing with their comb, it wasn't profiteering. A commensurate level of, I'm doing the work, I'm expending the energy, you know, and and I've combed it out. They're surprised when they come to the clinic and I do a head check and I'm like, oh yeah, she's got eggs. And she's like, but I combed and combed and combed, you know, and I'm kind of like, and then sometimes I keep coming like, yeah, that was, stare at that dot. It's moving. Okay. You know, that one's moving. That one's just hatched. So about half are surprised when they realize the value of a good comb. And I try to express to them, again, it's not rocket science. You don't want to take shortcuts. You want a good comb. Good comb, wet napkin. Going forward now, you know how to do your own head check. And, you know, I still have people come to have me work on their head because they're like, well, I can't see. And I'm like, I totally get that. And honestly, the first time when I tried to do my own head check with a comb, I'd be in the mirror like, it's an awkward angle. I mean, I have a comb here because my head itches in that business. So I have to see if it's a real itch or not. And I don't think the law -T is giving anyone a good comb with its clothing either. You have a society built on, built tone, built upon people under God, okay? And namely, in the lineage of Christ, okay? And yet not one of you in the law -T are producing the air right here, okay? You're passing doft to maintain your income to passe doft, okay? Doft tone stupid on your low -T. This fiction should be broadly understood, okay? It should be broadly understood. And you dowing with war to gain, so that the judge of the land who condones war and gives you an ID, and a sustainable ID to look like a prime mover without ever thinking even, okay? Only thiefend. And you, the couple pled and pledged doft to toft thiefend, you're providing a consort and a contort, hyphenated, okay? These are rude gestures. There's no other plain way to put it. It's a rude gesture. What else? Hmm. I'm trying to figure out what the comb is. If I take a stab at it, I think the comb is your clothing and your clothing is your words. My conversation with Minnow in the morning is, Minnow, it's cold. It's cold outside. We need to put some clothing on. Okay. You need to put your coat on. I try and, I dialogue, I talk to Minnow because I figure in our decade plus relationship, me talking on a daily basis, he's going to learn certain things. Certainly he knows what chicken is. Minnow, do you know what chicken is? Are you sleeping? And you know what frisbee is? He's already in a winter slump. He's like, you're not getting a rise out of me until you produce the goods. You know, do you like chicken? Do you like chicken? Would you like some chicken? I'm not kidding. I'll get you something yummy. How about lamb's lung? Did you just lick your lips? Would you like some lamb's lung? We have some freeze-dried lamb's lung still. Well, that's the other thing. He cocks his head like he's listening to me. So, I'm gonna get him some lamb's lung. Let's try some lamb's lung. Oh, that first step is like, hello, let's do this again. Wee. Wow. Look what I can do. That foot is a totally different color. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Minnow's got the big lamb's lung. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. See, that was worth it. I wasn't teasing you, Minnow. My legs are different colors. This one's got lots of red. I don't want to do any fancy JV or varsity kicks. That's white. It doesn't feel, I mean, it's warm, but it's a little warmer than the other one. Okay. It's time for another nap. Thankfully, I'm kidding, as far as I can tell. I'm going to try not to have another nap before the sun goes down. Which it's almost 4:15 in the thick, I mean, it's my understanding that the days are getting longer now, but there is a time here in Maine when it's dark at 6 a.m. and it's dark at 4 p.m. Hi. Importance of the comb. The law hyphen T is not giving you a good comb to see what is so in casting the honor conscious tone, okay? The taste, the cast, the haste, that has ass, and has the STE, the female saint, and taste the stew. T H C A S S T E W E I D. Okay? You have two thieves at the very least, dowing with wort ta gain. And none of those people are the heir. The U, E-W-E, is hyphenated and married to two dudes that dow with wort ta gain. Okay? They're paid to be sustainable, to assay, test the meta and metal of everyone. They're paid to be doffed to go to war in the name of their savior that they can't restore, and do not have the desire, therefore. The ref for. And they're paid to be sustainably doffed. Doffed to do what? To toot toft. Because toft, the rich person, is paying them for no reason to be doffed, to bed doffed, to stay doffed, to assay doffed. Doffed is going to test the meta of everyone. Doffed to assay, and already paid to be in place, hyphenated to date, and screw the U. To two thieves, to ask two more, hyphens, to be conceived and conceivable, lead doffed, stupid. Doffed is going to say war is necessary from his vein, V-A-I-N. Now, he may think it's vain, V-E-I-N, to proclaim, because he simply has no parallax. Okay. Looks like vain to me. Well, I can tell you it looks like vain, V-A-I-N, to me. T-O-M-E. I conclude the case. See, ass, everything. Sever, eve, ever, eve, art, every yet thing. Tin, your money, in your hinge. Okay? Law-T does not have E-W-E. Does not have anything, any want or desire to do with you. Okay? Even vent, even through. Endow, now. Wet tooth, ta, thanks. Ta, H, ta, ha, has, asked, are, screwed and skewed, E-W-E-I-D, okay? It's theater of the absurd, and the theater desired that sir was sired red. To hyphenate, dob, D-O-B, that is date of birth, BS. Bullshit served. Okay? And that would seem the only thing that you have the nerve to serve. You're thinking your vets for going to war is an extended fiction nail. Okay? To deserve, even name, am, me, ord. In your name, you ord yourself. But yourself is hyphenated to carry with wealth, with health. Okay? You're getting money for no reason, thief-ed, pushing the same hyphenated shit around, and giving you the false premise that you cared, therefore you can tear. Ta, R-E, right here, as if right there. You never endowed it to go anywhere with any were. Okay? So I would say very much my parallax is engineering the rear ear art. Okay? origin. Not everybody should be speaking. Not everybody, okay? And it's really built on the contention that the right two people are not speaking, okay? You've got two dudes representing you to be screwed, okay? I was gonna put this on a knee rover, but I don't have a knee rover. Let's put this over here. What else? So let's get back to the inevitable change. You know, I can complain forever, but that's basically rote at this point. Okay? I think I deserve better for myself. You know. Were you needing the comforter, Minnow? You were needing the comforter. He's a bit cat-like. Here, we're getting laundry drying, but you feel so, I don't know, you feel remote over there. I thought, you know, one thing would be nice, I've got this sheepskin here. You might enjoy this. You might enjoy this, you know. Come here. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. Now you've got a down comforter and you've got a little sheepskin. You've got a little sheepskin. Yeah, it smells different, huh? You know, smelling it. Usually it's on the back of the couch. I'm gonna repeat that. I was trying to do a video and I don't know what I was speaking on. Because I've been doing it start and stop. So I don't know how much I missed. But the final was the law -T is staging. Same amens. That it can always mend debt again. Okay? Hyphenate it. It's a cycle. It's a cycle like a snake. Okay? A legless snake of every segment eating itself, but itself is hyphenated, and it's not spending value, certainly, on my wealth. It's not carrying the well to endow now. And it would seem obvious it never cared to sell and should not have honor and proprietary rights to tell, as if you sold. You know, sell value. The law -T is clothing, and the clothing are the words, but the words are produced by two thieves to manicure an image without reason as desire in life even. It was never meant to.